Hello and welcome to the Progressive Moose. My name's Andrew, and this is the first video I'm making here on YouTube. So hit that like button, subscribe, share, help me out if you like it. So, the Progressive Moose will be Canadian news, politics, stories, some international, whether US or otherwise, like covering wars or politics in other countries that might affect us. So, with that being said, let's get into our first news story that I'm going to bring to you. So, this one's coming from CTV National News. It was broadcast on Saturday, December 2nd, 2023, and it comes to you from St. John's, Newfoundland, where they've been having issues with a homeless encampment. But let me tell you, in the end, I think it's some good lighthearted news. So, with that being said, let's take a look, and we'll talk about it after.
The doors are back open tonight at a public washroom in a park in Newfoundland's capital city. It follows a week of controversy that saw St. John's shut down the facilities, which were being used by people living in a nearby homeless encampment. Volunteers held a ribbon cutting this morning for two porta potties they donated for the tent city residents to use and to shame the city into action. And today there was action. 3 days after the washrooms closed, a reversal. CTV's Garrett Berry reports.
They call this place Tent City, established on a historic property next to a popular downtown St. John's Park. It's one of the most visible signs of a housing crisis that's ever been seen in this province. And this week, there was another thing they didn't have.
And I had to go all the way to the gathering place. I'm old, I can't hold like I used to.
Officials in St. John's shut down these bathrooms, the only ones in this park, blaming vandalism.
Toilets being stocked with needles, waste on the floor, cleaners, what they had to contend with.
Access to washrooms had already drawn protests.
We took an old toilet down to City Hall, wrapped it in rusty old chains, locked it up, and called out Mayor Breen to come outside and commit to unlocking the washrooms and having 24/7 access, which again is a human right to hygiene.
And with this latest move, emotions just got higher.
I also believe that that's a deliberate attempt to push people out that have nowhere else to go.
This week, the provincial government formed a new task force, and after the controversy, the city did an about-face today, reopening the bathrooms. Across the country, fears for winter are growing. In London, firefighters have now extinguished 3 fires at encampments. 1 woman was injured. A similar story in Toronto, where last weekend, a fire broke out in Kensington Market.
We're having more and more youth coming into our shelter talking about the fact that they've left these encampments because of the safety issues.
Visible homelessness isn't new in Newfoundland and Labrador, but this size, this tent city, shows a housing crisis getting deeper.
In Newfoundland, we pride ourselves as really friendly and really welcoming. So when I look here at Tent City, I just really wonder where that is right now.
Garrett Berry, CTV News, St. John's.
Still ahead, allegations.
All right, so there's a story. I don't claim to have answers on stuff like this. I do think this is a lighthearted story in the end. Because, I mean, now you have a provincial committee set up by the sounds of it. And really, they reopened the washrooms. And now, thanks to volunteers, thanks to those that had cared enough, if I can get the video back to where that was, you have people that band together to help the encampment. And I can't seem to get to that part of the video. But the display they made was great, and I think it's fantastic to see that people are banding together to help others in these situations, because it's not easy for those going through it. Having a proper washroom is a basic human right, and this display I think is amazing, and it clearly worked given that they unlocked the washrooms again for 24-hour accommodations in that sense. So that's great, and we're seeing across the country where more and more people are becoming homeless. It is more prominent, and it's going to continue to get worse until the housing crisis is fixed. And I mean, fact is, it's not going to happen overnight, and it didn't just happen overnight, and we can't solve it overnight. But that being said, do I think governments are doing enough to be able to fix the crisis at this point? They're trying. Do I think it's enough? No. Do I think that the Justin Trudeau Liberals are doing a good job in taking care of it? No. Do I think that the rhetoric that the Conservatives are pushing right now is doing any good? No, because all they're doing is trying to blame the Liberals when this crisis has been building up over a matter of 20, 30 years, mixed with the pandemic, which was unseen. You couldn't tell that was going to happen. Stuff like that, right? So a bunch of different issues have gone into it, but we do need to band together to try and help one another. And if that means standing up for people that are homeless and trying to make sure that they at least have the basic needs, then that's what we can do. So all the power to the people that did this. This is fantastic. Thank you for standing up for those that needed it. Thank you for putting your time and effort into helping others, and let's just all continue to try and do the same. So that being said, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, hit the like button, subscribe if you want, share, and let's keep passing out the progressive vibe, guys.